All right, welcome back to One Bills Live. Chris Brown, Steve Tasker with you here on a Wednesday. Pleased to be joined now here in studio by Cam Lewis, who just put pen to paper on his contract agreement to remain a Buffalo Bill, back in the secondary, back on special teams. I mean, you wear a lot of hats for this team. You have since you've been here. And you're still going to be wearing them, presumably going forward. Here's where I want to start, though, because for the first time for Bills fans in 7 years, there's no Poyer and there's no Hyde on the roster. And I imagine it's probably just as strange for you because they've been here ever since you walked in the door.
Right.
But at the same time, this is now an opportunity for you that realistically wasn't there with those two guys on the roster, or anybody else for that matter, for the most part.
Right.
How do you look at it now? Because, this new, 2-year agreement for you and the opportunity that's in front of you would appear to be different as far as playing on defense is concerned. How different is it for you in your head, as you prepare your mindset for 2024?
I really don't see – I always kind of, prepare as, I wanted to be a starter.
Right.
Like coming in the league, I knew it was going to take time, especially coming undrafted. Micah Poe, and then I had Taryn as well playing nickel and, Trey White outside. So I know, I had to find my role and then learn from the guys, above me. So learning from Micah and Poe these last 2 years, making that transition to safety, has been wonderful, man. I couldn't thank them enough, for the amount of knowledge and stuff that they instilled in me. But like I said, I've always been preparing to be a starter, like since day one. So I don't think my mindset or confidence changed. It's just making the most out of this opportunity that's ahead of me. So just going out here and just compete.
One of the things that struck me as you sat down here and we started talking about this, because most people know, it's been fun. You've been a solid group back there. Poe and Micah have been back there. Taryn's there. Trey's been in and around he's been out a couple of years, but now he's back in the building and all that.
Right.
Dane Jackson's been there for a minute.
Right.
It's kind of a sad day, right?
It is. No, most definitely. Especially when Michael was leaving, our last little meeting where I talked, had him, he got a little teary-eyed, and it kind of got me a little teary-eyed too. And then same thing with Poe, because, you never know, in this business. So we were just trying to soak it all in, this past couple of years. We didn't know when it was going to end, but we tried to enjoy, every moment that we did have together. That's why we used to go on DB dinners. That's why we used to hang out outside of the building, just because we always loved to be around each other. So, like I said, it is going to be different. It's going to be different, but they left that culture of trying to win and that cohesiveness of a group that we need to be to, succeed in this league. So I guess they taught us the ropes.
Yeah. Looking forward now, your new defensive coordinator is a guy that you know very well because he was your position coach, when you first came in the door.
For sure.
And now he's your DC. How comforting is it? I mean, you're never comfortable in this league because it is cutthroat. I know I don't have to tell you that. But at the same time, I got to imagine there's a little bit of a sense of comfort knowing your defensive coordinator knows you intimately as a player, your skill set, and how to get the most out of you and take advantage of your strengths as a player. Is there some measure of comfort knowing your DC, even though he's new in the role, knows you backwards and forwards as a player?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, I've been around Bobby for going on 5 years now, or 6 going into the new year. But he knows me in and out. Like I say, like you said, he coached me, and you have that sense of comfort, but you know what Bobby expects, out of you. You know what I'm saying? So he's always that high energy guy, but he likes the details and he wants you to do it the right way. And he always would teach that the right way. So me knowing that, I can kind of prepare myself for what I need, what I need to do to get the job done.
What are your thoughts about, the way this offseason's gone so far? You knew the team at the end of last year, even the guys, especially the guys up front with the whole roster being over. Now they got Daquan back and AJ signed back. But it's going to be a lot of new faces on your side of the ball. But now you do have a year under your belt with Sean calling the defenses.
Right.
So there's over the last 18 months, there's been quite a wash through of the roster and the coaching staff.
For sure.
Now you're going to have more coaching changes up there. Give us an idea of what the vibe is when you talk to the guys that are going to be here.
I get the vibe that we're still trying to win. Like we still have the opportunity to win. I don't know. I think I maybe seen something, or maybe mainstream media think, since all the, releases that's happening, moving cap space, that they feel like, Buffalo's windows, Super Bowl window has, closed. But we don't feel that way. We still feel like we're a very competitive team, and we can still, win football games in this league, which is very hard to do. But I still think we'll be able to get it done. So, just most positive, and just looking forward to, getting the season started.
Sure.
A lot of excitement, to be honest.
Yeah. And just so you know, we have a moratorium on the window discussion. I am so sick of people talking about that. I've put a moratorium on that. I basically tell our callers we don't even just talk about that stuff because I'm just so sick of it. It's on those national shows all the time. I just cannot. I have no stomach for it anymore. Yeah. Okay, so Steve mentioned some of the new coaches coming in the door. I know Coach Dana got here last year, and you're familiar with him. But what about Coach Adai? Have you had a chance to meet him?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
okay.
Yet. No, I'm going up there and meet him after this.
Oh, okay.
When I went up there, he wasn't in his office.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back.
Okay, so I'll move over to special teams then, because Coach Smiley, and Coach Harkey, much like the wash through on defense, you're going to have a little bit of a wash through there with the core of the group.
For sure.
Saran Neal, Tyler Matakevich. We don't know what's going to happen with T-Dod.
Yeah.
Those guys were core special teamers. Obviously, you are too. So now we've got this group of up-and-comers, coming into the primes of their career. You, probably Reggie, and a few other guys.
For sure.
How do you kind of take on that mantle as probably the leadership group of the special teams unit going forward?
Yeah, I feel like we just can't, I guess I want to put it is not put it all on ourselves and just come together as one unit. You know what I'm saying? Just bounce ideas off of each other, just because we won't have all the answers right away.
Yeah.
We will have, a lot of young talent coming in, with the draft class and stuff like that, and then people that we haven't played with. So it would, this offseason, especially OTAs and minicamp, will be, I feel like, important just to get the foundation of what we want our special teams unit to be, especially different from last year. I don't feel like last year we kind of put our best foot forward, and most definitely we tried, you know what I'm saying? But some of the outcomes, I wish, we wish that we would have got back, different plays and stuff like that. So just building off of that, we have that taste in our mouth that, we don't want to have these plays happen. And we experienced that, together for the guys that's coming back, Reggie, Q, myself, Reed's still here. So he's still one of those leaders in that room, on them units. So just having that and just trying to build off of it. And I feel like we have all the same views of where we want this unit to be, all the same goals. So just having that come together as one, I feel like the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
All right, last one for me. What's your schedule coming up next couple months? You guys kind of hang loose until after the draft, and then they start the OTAs and all of that stuff?
Yeah. I'm gonna work out, stay active, and then I'm gonna go down to Jamaica. My birthday's coming up.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to Jamaica a little bit, hang out with the wife, and then my brother and his girlfriend's coming as well. So that should be a good time, and then come back and get to work, man. It's a long year.
Hey, you gotta
try to get
up. I know how that is.
For sure. It's a long year, but got to get ready for it.
Good stuff.
Quick one for me. I'm sure you've been kind of keeping an ear to the ground on this, and your head coach is on the competition committee now, but it looks like kickoffs may look different again this year if they adopt that XFL kickoff.
For sure. I hope they don't.
Have you watched that on film? I'm just curious, for someone that's run 40 yards down the field forever on kickoffs, have you looked at it from the way the XFL did it? I'm just curious for your thoughts on it being, a special teams guy.
I don't. So they do
they're like 10 yards apart from each other. It's like a tag up in baseball.
Yeah,
you can't move until the guy catches it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm not a big fan of it. Especially, I wasn't a big fan.
Less running.
It's less running, but I feel like that takes. I feel like that just take kickoff, out of the, the game. To be honest,
which is
a lot of jobs away.
See, it's interesting that you say that, because the whole reason the NFL is looking at this is because they don't like there not being returns. There were so many non-returns, as you know. I mean, you played the whole season. You 100%. Saw returns were down. Super Bowl, 0 returns.
But they have a whole bunch of fair catches, catch rule and stuff like that. I didn't really like that rule.
You don't like fair catch?
Nah. It's just like, if you want to return it, and then a lot of teams use it, to whatever advantage they wanted to in certain games, especially weather games, which is, that's up to them. But it takes a lot of different plays out for a lot of guys that, try to thrive on those units and try to make their living, on special teams. So especially if you want to have special teams around in the game, you have to have
Right.
to have kickoff. You have to let people go out there and
Yeah.
make those plays.
We may find out by the end of this month. That's when the owners' meetings may have that proposal in front of them. Be interesting to see if they adopt that. Do they eliminate the fair catch? Like, what are they going to do? But it's got to be crazy for people like you. You know, you're trying to get a handle on stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they keep changing it on you. It's hard to kind of get traction and feel comfortable, I would think,
with it,
right?
Yeah. It's been changing year by year. So you just got to adjust with it, to be honest, and just try to make the rules work for you in your favor, and just try to make the best of it.
Yeah,
for real.
I remember. I covered a ton of kickoffs, obviously, when I was playing, and
Right.
you have such a depth of knowledge of how many times you've done the exact same thing. Well, now you've done like 1 year's this way, and the next year's that way, and then it's hard to get comfortable doing it, so you feel like, I know exactly what's going to happen and all the stuff that could happen.
Right, for sure.
Actually, I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. So.
It'll be interesting to see what you guys are facing by the time we get to training camp.
It will be.
Cam, great to see you. Happy early birthday.
Man.
Thank you.
Have a blast in Jamaica, and we'll see you back here ready to roll in the spring.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you guys.